Alright guys, I have some serious news to tell you all right now. You guys might have seen me tweeting about it a little bit yesterday, but I finally passed my road test. Like, I passed my test to get my driver's license finally after 4 tries. Okay, I have 29 kills and the next place has 10. What is going on? Like I'm telling you, pod is one of my best maps. But like I was saying, I did make a commentary way back in April talking about how I failed my road test because I did fail it twice and I even failed it again one more time after I made that video. But I'm gonna link that in the description. You guys should all go watch it because if you haven't seen it, it's kind of like connected to what I'm about to tell you all. So just go watch it. So to start the story off, I go to the DMV and it's about like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I'm just sitting there filling out the papers waiting to be called to go take my road test. And the last time I actually drove a car or even was at the DMV was way back like in early June, almost 2 months ago. And I noticed that they have one instructor for this whole day for all the kids that want to take their road test. They only have one instructor. And that's a prime reason right there why I hate the DMV. It is the most shitty and poorly run place ever. And it just so happens that the one guy that is there doing road tests is the guy that failed me last time. And I never really explained to you guys how I failed last time, but the instructor I had, he was a huge 6 foot, maybe 6.5 foot black guy, and he was also an ex-Illinois state trooper. And what that means, he's pretty much just a police officer that writes out tickets for people that make driving mistakes and shit like that. So to say the least, this guy is really hardcore about all the little things. Like, he doesn't play no games. He does not play any games at all. So I get in the car to start, and I'm pretty sure he didn't recognize me, which was really lucky because last time I had him, I failed pretty bad. And the main reason I failed is because I didn't know one little rule, and that was you had to stop before the white line of stop signs. I just thought you had to stop before the stop sign, but you had to stop before the white line, like you couldn't go on the crosswalk. And I know it's a stupid mistake, but I never was like taught it or anything. So throughout the course of this whole road test, I am just keeping my eye on that stupid fucking white line right before the stop sign. Like, I wasn't even looking at anything else. I wasn't looking at the stoplights, I wasn't looking at traffic, I was just looking at the fucking white line because I did not want to pass it and have this guy mark me off for all this shit. So I'm driving, you know, I'm doing the road test, I'm doing it good, I'm not making any mistakes, or at least I thought I wasn't. And like, he's telling me turn right at the stop sign, turn left at the stoplight, yada yada yada. And the one like real mistake I made throughout the whole course of the road test was he told me to turn right at a stoplight. And I pulled up to the stoplight without realizing it was green. I stopped, checked both ways like a moron at a green light, and then I turned the corner. And it was because I just was looking for that fucking white line. I mean, I just wanted to get the whole stopping thing down because that was why I failed last time. So like I said, that was the only real big mistake that I noticed I made. And then I finished the road test and I pull back into the DMV and I park my car and this dude starts talking. And the first thing he does is he asks me how I do on the road test, and I said I thought I did pretty good. And he's like, okay. And then he starts talking to me about the things that I messed up on. And the first thing he tells me, the first thing I messed up on was a stop sign. And I thought to myself, how in the world did I manage to fuck up? I made sure I stopped before the white line. I made sure I counted 3 because every instructor says that. Everyone says make sure you stop before the white line and you count to 3 in your head and then you go. And what he told me was that I should not be counting 3 when I stop, and I couldn't believe it because every single instructor will tell you you stop and you count to 3 in your head and you wait to go. So I was pretty pissed off about that, and then he also continued to talk to me for about another 10 minutes about things that I messed up on. And I swear to God, like throughout that whole thing I was just thinking to myself, I am a fucking idiot. I can't believe I failed this test again 4 times. I like made sure I did everything right. Like, how could I mess up? Because this guy was literally walking me through the whole route we took, every little thing that I messed up on, and he made it sound like I failed. So I'm sitting there in a real shitty mood now because I had it in my head that I failed, and I was just like kind of like whatever, and the guy was still talking to me and everything. And the reason I was so mad is because this is the 4th time I'm gonna fail this road test, and I waited at the DMV for like 2-3 hours. Who knows when I'll go back again, like all this shit. So after he finished explaining it to me, he told me I needed a score of 80 to pass, and he showed me the clipboard, and I had a fucking 84. I was so hyped. My mood literally just, I can't snap, but it just switched like that fast. And I was so relieved and surprised and everything because this guy seriously, like I know I've said it like a million times, but I swear to God, he put it in my head that I failed this test. And I don't know if I'm more hyped that I finally got my license or that I never have to go back to the DMV again and wait 3 hours to take my fucking road test. Because literally every time I've gone, I just sit there for like 3 hours waiting for them to call me back to fail. But yeah, to say the least, I'm really relieved that I finally got my license. Like, I was eligible to go take my license test back in March, and I was counting down the days, like in January and February, of how long it was until I could go take it. And now it's 4 months later, and I finally got it. But you know, whatever, you know, I got it. For a minute there, I thought I was gonna end up like SpongeBob, stuck in Miss Puff's driving class forever. But I'm actually gonna have to wrap up the video here, guys. I'm sorry if it's a little shorter than usual. It's actually 10 in the morning right now, and I have to still edit this. And I usually never record my videos the day they go up. I always record them the day before if I have time to edit and upload them and all that shit. But I had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday, so I couldn't do that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. This has been FaZe. Make sure to leave a like if you did.